All right, we're good to go. So I know Amir has been waiting to ask a question since yesterday. So do you want to go ahead?
Sure, thank you. I actually had several questions. Do you mind if I share my screen? Because I have like,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I need to allow it. Just one sec.
I think it's allowed.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead then. Yeah.
Oh no, I have to send a request.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, go ahead. Oh, I need to stop sharing. Yeah.
thank you. Um,
Yeah,
are you able to see my screen now?
yeah. By the way, keep in mind this is being broadcast on YouTube.
It's fine. I don't have anything personal,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sure. So this is the bubble sort. Like, for the second loop, like I know
Mhm.
what it's going from like j should be less than n minus one minus I. But like if
Mhm.
I write it as j less than n minus one, it still works perfectly. Like I mean, like it's extra steps, unnecessary steps.
That's correct. Yeah.
But like if in the midterm possibly I have some like extra unneeded steps, is there going to be like a penalty for that?
So in general, the answer is no. So sometimes in previous midterms, you see requirements for a certain complexity.
Hmm.
So in the case of bubble sort, it doesn't change the complexity if you add extra steps in this kind of way. You could imagine that adding extra steps in some way would change the complexity. And then if there is a complexity requirement, then yeah, it would make a difference. If there is not a complexity requirement, then no.
Right, okay. And like the complexity requirement, if it's off by some things, it's still gonna be like probably like less than 50% of the question, right? Like if I still
Uh,
get
I mean, it really depends on the question. So like, in order to answer, I have to think about like all the possible questions that I could possibly ask, and then like, I guess like if I think really hard, I could imagine. I mean, like you're probably right in kind of the vast majority of the cases,
right. And then,
but like I like you could imagine that it's not like that, but like, yeah,
yeah,
it really depends on
I
the question.
understand it's like a very specific to the midterm thing.
Yeah,
And like several lectures, you discussed this question, question four of midterm 2024.
yeah,
And uh, I never read like the official answers in the midterm, but like
okay.
while I was reading it, I realized that for the average, you just divide it by 10. Like,
Mhm.
well,
That's a good question. I have no idea why I did that. So here it seems like I'm assuming that there is 10 marks because I'm saying like j equals 0, j smaller than 10. Does this question maybe say that there's 10
no, this was
marks?
the question that you said you wanted to be like,
Yeah, I
but
think that might be just a mistake. Uh,
can
can you scroll? Uh,
I scroll down?
yeah. So I think, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's uh J. Yeah, like that's just a mistake. So for like this assumes that there's 10 marks, and that's not the case. So that's just a mistake.
Right. Okay. So we need to do. Okay. I think in the lecture, like, well, you accounted for that. There's variable amount of
Yeah,
marks.
yeah, yeah. Like
But
so like in the lecture, I don't think I did that. I did that in like the Thursday office hours last week or something. Yeah, and I definitely did account for like variable amount of marks. Yeah.
right. Okay. And that clears it up. And there was another question I had about the Atoy function. Sorry, this is not a C compiler,
Yeah.
but just automatically open it up. So like for the Atoy function, the way I did it is that, okay, let me explain it in this way. So if there's like a string that's like 1, 2, 3, hello, and
Yeah.
then it's 4, 5, 6, the
Hmm.
normal Atoy, when I call it, it just gives me 1, 2, 3, like, or
Yeah.
100.
That's right. Yeah.
But like when I was implementing it in the lab, like the way I did it is that there's a for loop that it loops to all of the characters of like the string, and then it prints out 1, 2, 3, and then skips hello, and then 4, 5, 7.
Yeah, I mean, I would not ordinarily do it that way just because, um, like that's probably not like that's not the usual way that people interpret kind of convert this to an integer. Like if it's not like this would just be like not a number. So, like you say, the built-in ATOI considers any non-digit to be just the end of the number. But kind of the answer to your question is like, this is not how I ordinarily would do it, but it would be like a valid question to ask to, do what you did and just convert to a number where you skip anything that's not a digit. But I would probably not call it ATOI. I would call it something else. But if
Right.
you're asking about the midterm, like I would not say like do exactly what ATOI does, but I'm not going to tell you what ATOI does. So like you don't have to remember that.
Oh, okay. That's good. And like for the default ATUI, what if there's like I probably should have tried it before asking, but now I have the question. Like what if there's characters first, then there's numbers, like it's hello 1, 2, 3. Will it give like
Um, I
returns?
believe it does skip the initial characters, but to be honest, I don't remember 100%.
Right. Okay.
It might just say also like it's not a number. I think it does. I think it might skip the initial characters. Yeah.
So like the lab question was like it said like implement Ator and then
I mean, it's a lab question, right? So like we're not like autograding it or anything else, or anything like that. So like, don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about that kind of issue for the midterm. Like so I will not ask you to like recall exactly what something like ATOI does. I mean, technically ATOI itself is like on the handout, so like I could ask you about that,
right.
but I would not ask you for like something that's like ATOI, but not in the midterm, so that you like recall exactly how it handles special cases. Like if I want you to handle special cases in
Mhm.
this kind of situation where it's really not obvious from the text of a question, I would have to like say exactly what they mean for the special cases.
Right. Thank you so much. That's all for my
Yeah.
question. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, all right. So if so you can just unmute yourself, anyone, and ask a question if you want, because there's like just 6 people. So yeah. Yeah, Kevin raised it. Yeah. Kevin, go ahead.
Hi, I was just wondering for 2025's midterm, at the last question, we were given like a print file content,
Yeah.
like a sample. I believe it's meant to like help us, uh, like as a reminder of how to deal with files.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what we still have those kind of things, or do we need to remember like every syntax when it comes to like file?
So you would potentially need to know this kind of thing, yes. So just because like often questions would give you some contents, but if I want to test that, that would also be completely legitimate.
Okay.
What like there's not like very many things. So it's not like exactly syntax. It's more like f open. So like there's not like very many things like that, but I would kind of look over the cheat sheet that you're given, and like anything that you feel that you need to remember, like do remember it.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Rishana. Oh, there's lots of questions. Okay. Let me share my screen so that people see the questions as well. Uh, do you guys see the chat, by the way? Because it's not always. Okay. All right. So for including stuff, are we supposed to put the lines include? Are we allowed to assume? Yes, you are allowed to assume that all 3 of the mainly used ones are included. You don't have to explicitly include them. And so are we allowed to use Q-sort unless explicitly specified? Yes. What do you consider the general idea being correct versus implementation for the grading scheme? Okay, so that is a little bit I think kind of you're looking at it because you've seen kind of the marking schemes before, and that's like a little bit hard to say in general, because the usual way that we grade things is so here's kind of let me give you maybe kind of a concrete example. So so this is, I guess, from yesterday's office hours, and the question was like, do str length using recursion, right? And this is like the correct solution. So in this case, I would say, okay, like you forgot this semicolon, we just don't care, because like you clearly know that the semicolon would go here. Okay, you missed this one, we don't care. Let's say that you forgot that you said this. So this is not correct, because this is checking whether the address S is equal to null, not whether the value at that address is equal to null. So that's like clearly a mistake. But at the same time, you clearly know kind of the overall plan. So this would be the kind of thing that Trishana, I think you're asking about. Like if someone wrote this kind of thing, do they know how to solve this? Well, yes. Did they mess it up in a substantial way? Well, also, yes, this is an actual mistake. Although they could have like had the right idea, they just like forgot. We don't know what's in your head. So this kind of thing would be clearly the right idea, but also, you know, this is a bug. We'd take off a few marks for it, like not anywhere close to the majority. So let's say that you're doing whatever, like this kind of thing. So at this point, we're going to say, okay, like you probably have a general idea, but you also are clearly missing or I mean, again, we don't know what's in anyone's head, but what's written here is like not the full solution, right? So because like you could imagine that the person just knows, okay, like I got to call strlen rec recursively, but like this solution does not show that they have a clear idea in their mind. I mean, they might, but they didn't show that they have a clear idea in their mind of how to solve it. So at this point, we also start to say, okay, like this is not the full solution. So kind of like that. So hopefully that gives you an idea. But it's like a case-by-case thing. The way we generally do it is, you know, if there's several people who are marking the question, they're just talking to each other about, hey, like, what kind of marks do you give for this kind of case? What kind of marks do you give for that kind of case? And they coordinate so that it's both consistent and between themselves and consistent with the grading scheme. So kind of like that. I think that was just question number 2. Okay. Question number 3. Are you allowed extra parameters allowed in functions? No. So if we say that this must be the signature, then this must be the signature. So you're not allowed to modify it if we say what the signature is. We don't say what the signature is. If we just say this is the name of the function, then obviously this is not even extra parameters. You just get to decide how many parameters. All right. Okay. I guess you have a question about 2023.
Okay. So yeah. So looking at the 2023 midterm, I think I may have misunderstood the wording of the question. Wait, was it question 5 or? Oh wait, shoot, that might have been the 2024 one. Wait, it was one of them. Yeah, I think it was the 20. Wait, no, it's not. What is going on? Wait, I'm so sorry. The one with like where you had to pass like the H file one. Was that 2023?
I have no idea.
Wait, okay, wait. Let me find it. Question 5, 20. Yeah. Okay, so question 5, 2023. That's what it was. I got mixed up. Okay, so question 5, 2023. So you know how you say that like, okay, plus n1 adds 1 to the pi integer n1, and you're saying that the signature has to be n1, right?
I mean, I guess it's not the signature, it's like the code, yeah.
The code, right? But you need that signature in the H file So what I was thinking was like you
yeah,
had to have a
I
pi
mean,
integer, but
you're right. So this is like operations. This is not like, sorry. Okay. So this is like operations. This is not like signatures.
oh, okay, because
So like
I was trying to figure out.
yeah. So I mean, you could do it with the
I
like
know, but
if
then
you
I'd have to
interpret
make
it with a
pointers for
signature,
the size.
you could do it because you could return you can return the
The
struct
size. That's
rather
kind of what I did, but
than yeah.
also like when I try to like realloc stuff to a different thing, it's gonna like change the local pointer. So it
No,
doesn't.
well, I mean, yeah, but it would still work, right? So what you can do is you could say, so I'm doing like a simplified example, right? So let's say that I have whatever, like my struct, and then I have a buffer here. And then like, let's say that I want to do it kind of just using returns, right? So I'll do like my struct make struct. And so I'm returning like a my struct, right? So I'll just say, okay, so
Oh, we're allowed to have extra functions too.
what do you mean? I mean like this, I mean
Yeah, I
extra,
think the
yeah.
problem, like, yeah, because I thought you could only
I mean,
have
it doesn't
plus
matter. Like
plus.
you could do, I mean, plus plus is a different function. So like I'm gonna make a plus plus.
Plus
Like
plus and
no,
add.
like you'll see. Give me a second. So like I'm just right now I'm just making like the malloc, right? So
Oh, I really thought that those are the only two functions that you could
oh
use.
no, I mean so like yes and no. So like I'm just like making it so that I could run it.
Oh, okay, okay,
The
okay.
so but like here like it says sorry, so like it was like 3 years ago. Like so here it says like implement the data structure. So that means that like
Right.
you do need to make it like work because
Yeah.
I think part C is actually asking you to run it, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. And um what was the question?
So
Like
the question was
the
about the
solution.
realloc. So let me do like just like a quick thing with the realloc.
Yeah, could you show the 999 because like when I had 999 I pressed like it was like putting it to
I mean,
garbage memory and it said 2020.
I'm not gonna like re-implement the entire thing. I'm just gonna like do like a plus plus. Oh, okay, I see. Sorry. Okay, I was being misleading. So you can technically realloc, but yeah, so like the problem is like you well, so like okay, so you can do the realloc. So I was being misleading in a sense that you need to communicate the information to the function. So the bigger problem is not that is like communicating to the function, not from the function. But
Yeah.
as long as you are allowed to communicate to the function, so
I
let's
didn't
say
know
that
you were
well, I
allowed
mean,
to
like
because
if you weren't, then you couldn't do anything.
I know that's why I was
Yeah,
trying to, and then
yeah.
I just did it with the pointers. I was like, I don't know if I am
Uh,
allowed to do it with the pointers, and I saw the
Yeah.
solution.
So like the point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to use pointers, but you do have to communicate to the function somehow. So here's how you could communicate to the function and do the realloc, and it would still work. So if
Right.
you do like something like this, uh, so now s dot buffer. So like eventually I'm just gonna say like return s, right? So if I say s buffer is like realloc whatever. So that is fine because you return s, and s.buffer is now a new value.
Okay.
So that could work. But the bigger issue is that, well, like you need to somehow communicate what the buffer was. So you have to send it in here, whether it's a pointer or whatever.
Right. So the solution for this question, just use the pointer and the parameter.
Yeah,
like
so that would be the usual pattern is you pass around you pass the pointer, yeah.
Okay.
But you could also do it that way, and that would also be completely fine. And then like in main,
right.
You
So
would do.
I guess like going back to my fourth question about like, okay, so I'm like, when are extra parameters allowed on functions versus this? Like, how would I know that it's a question four type of situation? My question four.
I mean, the answer is that technically this says operations, and this is like consistent with the notation on the slides about abstract data types. So like abstract data types are not like C structs. It's like specifically a separate mathematical thing, which is then implemented with structs. So,
right.
So I guess like technically the answer to your question is like it said that it's an abstract data type, and those are operations, not functions.
Yeah. Okay. So if you put plus plus n1 without the star in the H file, and then you put it with the star in the other
No, like
file.
it has to be consistent. So like
okay.
so this is like the call. So technically kind of what I did here does work, right? So that would be kind of like this.
Okay.
So yeah. So actually, sorry.
Right.
Okay, sorry. I was talking nonsense a little bit. This completely works, and this is actually consistent with the handout.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a little bit wordy. I think we figured that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? All right. I'll stop my video, but I'll stay for a couple more minutes in case anyone thinks of more questions. Okay, there's another question. So I'm not sure if you're allowed to answer this, but it's fine if you can. What are the most common easy fix mistakes you see on midterm? I'm certainly allowed to answer it. I'm not sure I know the answer. So I mean, like the kind of silly answer to your question, I guess, is like whatever, like forgetting a semicolon. So like just kind of like obvious syntax stuff. Um, so
And then like there's like obviously kind of conceptual difficulties that people have with pointers. So like whatever like kind of P versus star P versus address of P, stuff like that. But I would not consider that to be like an easy fix mistake. That's like a substantial mistake. So yeah, sorry, I'm like trying to think of stuff, but like it's kind of difficult. So I guess like one thing that you sometimes see, I don't think actually very often, is people are writing as if they're writing in Python when they're supposed to be writing in C. So you forget to declare a variable. You just say like a equals 42 versus int a equals 42. Or you like mix up Python syntax with C syntax. So I guess kind of in C, if condition, the condition must go in parentheses. While condition, the condition must go in parentheses, but in Python, that's not required. So I guess people forget that, but I don't actually see it that often. It's just like the kind of thing that might happen. I guess similarly, like declaring a return type for a function, declaring the parameter type for a function is the kind of thing that people sometimes forget. I guess, again, just thinking about like people just writing Python when they're supposed to write C. So like thinking that printf works the same way that print does. So like forgetting the format string is, I guess, something that sometimes happens. Like not that often. So I guess strings. So you see that's like not necessarily an easy fix, and it might be that people are just like trying to get part marks, but you would see in the kind of question, like the last question from 2025, so like the project one style thing, people trying to do like dot split on a C string, and obviously like that doesn't exist in C. So that's actually something that you see often. I'm not sure it's a mistake and not just people trying to get part marks though. Sorry, I can't right now at least think of anything else.
That's okay. Thank you so much. That helped a lot.
Right, I'm turning off the video again. Someone thinks of more questions.
All right. Also,
Yeah.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing when I was practicing the midterms, one thing I found like really good about C is the fact that if I forget to initialize a variable, I can just slap it on because it doesn't care about spaces. Do
Yeah.
you care about spaces?
No.
Okay.
I mean, so I only care about what's the C compiler cares about, right? So like if it compiles and it's correct, like that's like a rock solid argument for I should get full marks, except like if there's like complexity required or something. But like if it works, it works.
Okay.
Do we get marks reduced if we don't do null check? If you mean by null check where you do like malloc, and then if it doesn't succeed in allocating memory, then it's like a null pointer, or like if it doesn't succeed in opening in a file, it's a null pointer. Then ordinarily, so unless the question requires something like this, then no, you don't lose marks. So you could imagine a question. So I guess like this question is definitely not in the midterm because I'm going to use it as an example. So here's like an example of a question where you would need to do a null check. It's like literally, it says like, you need to read this text file and you need to print could not read the file if you cannot read the file. So that's obviously like you need to check whether the file is null, and you need to like print something if the file, I mean like the capital FILE FB, if it's null, then you need to print something. Obviously, in that case, you do need to do the null check because it's explicitly required, even though it doesn't say like explicitly do the null check. It says if you cannot read the file, do that. Then yeah, you need to do that. But ordinarily, no. All right, I'm gonna wait for another 2-3 minutes. All right, guys. I'm gonna go seeing how there's no questions. I'm gonna hopefully announce more office hours tomorrow. Once I land in Toronto. So, yeah. But I just like don't want to announce ahead of time just because like if there like there's like problem with the flight, then don't want to do it. All right. Okay. I'll see you.